Aid for trade remains a priority in international development cooperation agenda. Aid for trade itself is reaching $40 billion in 2009. The outlook is stable. Africa is the largest regional recipient. So low-income countries and regional programs increase their share. The delivery is guided by 8 principles, and it's expected to see further progress through development effectiveness. With greater awareness, the case stories show aid for trade in action in many countries from many providers. It is estimated that every additional dollar invested in building capacity in developing countries yields $42 additional in exports. Clearly, developing countries lack the trade capacity, be it adequate infrastructure, adequate know-how, to function in the system or be productive capacity itself. So countries lacking these sort of capacities need this investment. In 2005, ministers launched Aid for Trade initiatives. Since 2005, we've seen impressive numbers indeed. We've seen growth of 60% in commitments made by donor, and we now are at $40 billion. Those are big numbers, but the question is, do those numbers translate into enhanced trade flows, into poverty alleviation, and into integrating developing countries into the global system? There are many projects and programs conducted abroad, and South-South cooperation is on the rise in Aid for Trade. So many of the projects were intended to upgrade quality working. Many of these exports exhibited substandard performance, but it might have considerable potential if supply-side obstacles could be overcome. Among these projects, one example of South-South Aid for Trade is the Project for Cotton, initiated by the Brazilian government in 2008 in Benin, Burkina Faso, Chad, and Mali. The project had dramatic results. The yield increased threefold to 3,000 kilograms per hectare. Overall, the project forecast a 10% increase in the 2010 harvest. So this project marked the expansion of Brazil's technical assistance to Africa to 300 initiatives with a budget of $60 million.
The mission of the Cotton Made in Africa initiative is to promote the sustainable cultivation as well as sales of African cotton, thereby improving the living conditions of these small-scale farmers.
Das ist genau was wichtig ist. Das heißt, hier die Selbstständigkeit zu ermöglichen, dass sie dann auch unabhängig sind von Hilfe von außen.
Cotton Made in Africa uses a comprehensive approach, which takes into account social, economic and ecological criteria. This ranges from the introduction of resource-aware cultivation methods to the establishment of verifiable quality standards. With the involvement of prestigious companies and reputable trade chains, access to Western markets and the ongoing success of the initiative is
Wir erreichen Einkommensverbesserung, wir erreichen dadurch, dass die Kinder zur Schule gehen können. Genau dieser Kreislauf ist ganz wichtig, dass aus dem Armutskreislauf heraus eine Entwicklung nach oben ist. Und das stellen wir fest, das Programm wirkt.
So there are also limitations to aid for trade which hinder the labor productivity, economic development, and even national growth. So these limitations do not confine global community to become ever more interconnected to each other. We have pointed out the problem, but it's time to act for the better world for all.